In this video, I'm going to show you how to create an Aria Multi and then use it in a Notion template so that you can set up a particular collection of instruments and then reuse them in additional songs. This will probably seem kind of complicated, but if you're a software engineer, it will be like just totally simple and it will make sense, which is the reason most likely that it makes no sense to anybody else. Now, what I've got here is I've got a Studio One Professional project, a song going on, and that's so I can do voiceover. So I've got the voiceover thing right here, and then I've got a Notion instrument track, which is necessary for the Notion audio to be sent over, and then I've got a audio track that I've labeled Notion, and the audio from the instrument track goes to the audio track that's labeled Notion, and so that's how you can hear everything, and that makes perfect sense if you're a software engineer. So I've already set everything up in Notion, and we can see that by clicking on Notion, and I've got the Aria player, and you can see that here in position number 1 I've got a flute, and here in position number 2 I've got a French horn, and here in position number 3 I've got a trumpet. Now it's important on these that here in this little thing that I can't see because I'm nearsighted and I've got a 30-inch monitor, and it's about a 0.1 point thing, but you want this on 1-2, and the same thing on this one, you want it on 1-2, and on this one you want it on 1-2. And the reason you want it on 1-2 is because Aria is going to send it over on 1-2, even though there's 3 things in here. And this is one place where you can get kind of confused. You might think, well, okay, the flute, I want that to be 1-2, and the French horn, I want that to be 3-4, and the trumpet, you want it to be 5-6. Well, no, that's not going to work, because even though there can be 16 things in here, they're all getting sent over on 1-2. Okay, it's busing and routing. If you want to make sense of digital music production, you have to understand busing and routing. The Aria player is going to send everything over on 1-2. It's going to send all 16 things over, but each of the 16 things, or in this case 3 things, are actually going to be different. They're going to be sent on a different part of the 1-2 thingy. Yeah, there's lots of thingies. Yeah, and based on the general rule in software engineering, if you do something one time, it's a special case. If you do it 2 times, it's a general case. And so I did it 3 times, and so it's even more general. Okay, so that's what's going on there. The Notion tracks, initially I just the one for Aria, and then I just created a basic track and called it French horn, and I created another basic staff, and I called it trumpet. I don't know, staff track, I don't know, you know, they had to have a different name for everything, and it's confusing, and you know, you just got to kind of deal with it. And you'll notice down here I've got the 3 things output to the channel 1-2 pair, and that means that all the audio generated by Notion via the Aria player is going to be sent over to Studio One on channel pair 1-2. And so, yeah, That's the first pop test, and explain that to me in 30 seconds, and you get a lollipop. Okay, so here's this thing going on. Oh, okay, great. And now I'm going to show you how I made this into a template. Okay, I'm going to start off, and I'm going to get back in Notion. I'm going to go up to Edit. I'm going to do Select All, and then I'm going to delete it. Okay, so it's like it's all gone. And now I'm going to go up here in Notion, and I'm going to do Save As, and I'm going to call it, I don't know what I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it, for simplicity, I'm going to call it SWN6 Aria. I can't see this stuff. Aria Multi template. Yeah, and so there it is. You would think that it saved everything, but it really kind of didn't, because you deleted all of it. And so what that means, I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so you can see it. What that means is that if you put a note on this one, it sounds like a flute. Okay, put a note on this one, it sounds like a piano, but because this is the French horn, which is just a basic staff that I named French horn. Same thing on trumpet, just sound like a piano. Well, that's not what you want. So what you want to do is you want to go up here on the Aria Player Multi, and you want to do a Shift-I, and then you see here it says Aria Player Multi whatever, and then in this middle thing it's got channels, and so you want to select channel 1, and you want to click up, you want to say OK, and then you want to click here, even though it's redundant. I mean, it already knows it's channel 1, but and then so you want to do Shift-I again. It's going to bring the same thing up, except this time you want to select channel 2, and you say OK, and then you go down here, and this time you want to select channel 3, and you want to click, you want to say OK, and then you want to click down here. And so what you'll see is what it looks like when I aligned everything. You can move these little thingies. So anyway, it's all aligned. We want to save this. Okay, so now it's the SWN6 Aria Multi template. Okay, now it's like totally great. Okay, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go up here and we're going to do Save As, and we're going to call it SWN6 Aria Multi Fabulous Song. Okay, so now the template's still there. It's just, it's not active. What we've got now is we have a song with nothing on it, which is, I guess, a pretty smart thing. And so what we're going to do, we're going to now go up here and we're going to open experiment template. We're going to open what I started off with, which had all these notes and stuff on it. And then I'm gonna do select all, yeah, and I'm gonna copy that to the clipboard, and I'm gonna close it, and then I'm gonna go down here, and I'm gonna paste all that stuff. And so now it's got notes and things, and off we go. And I hope that made sense. I mean, it's kind of confusing, but you can see that it's working. I mean, and if I click on the flute, see, that's the flute stuff. And I'm going to click on the trumpet. You see how the range, the register changed? And no, that's the French horn, yeah. And then here's the trumpet, yeah. And so that's all great. And yeah, it's not the least bit confusing. Yeah, I mean, I understand this, all this stuff, and I know how to do it. It's just a matter of talking and do it at the same time is a little bit much, but anyway, it works. And so there you are. The key to it is that it's the 1-2, and also just for reference here, to avoid any possible confusion, you'll notice up here under ensemble that there's a name. Okay, SW-multi-1, and you have to once you create it, you have to save it, and after you save it, you can then load it by going down here to user, and you click on whatever name you gave it. In this case, SW-multi-1, and then bingo, it loads it, and that's how you save it and reuse it. Yeah, so summarizing, it's always good to do. Go ahead and create a Notion score with the Aria player. Bring up the Aria player, create yourself a multi, save it, give it a name, meaningful name, save it, and that makes it a user defined multi in Aria, so Aria knows about it. Then you have to go into your Notion score and create one Aria VSTi instrument staff, and that's going to be this first one. And then if you have 3 instruments or 16 instruments, create additional staffs, and then do the shift I thing and assign them to channel 1, 2, 3, 4, and etc., and then save it, and then zap everything, do the shift I thing again so that they're all yeah, and then save that. And then at that point you can, if you want to start a new song, and you just open the blank one that you saved with the correct redirect thing here, and then immediately do a save as, and then put some notes on it, and there you are. Yeah. Okay, well, yeah. So I mean, that's how it works, and hope you enjoyed it, and hope this helps you be productive. Thanks.